Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Revitalising Villa. This is episode number 16, and episode number 16 means a new league. We're finally back in the Premier League. It was a good first season. Good 15 episodes as well. I'm very happy with how that's gone. First season went well. We won promotion. We didn't win the league, but we won promotion. We're in the Premier League. From now, it's going to get a lot tougher. It's not going to be as easy to win games. It's going to be difficult. Of course, with only one season gone since real life, a lot of the teams are still in the Premier League. There are 3 teams that have dropped out and 3 teams that have gone in. The teams that have gone in, of course, Aston Villa, Middlesbrough who won the league, and it was Wolves who won the playoffs, which is really weird to see. Wolves won the playoffs, and if we look at who was actually relegated, it was Huddersfield and Crystal Palace and Newcastle of all teams. I was surprised at Newcastle. Palace and Huddersfield, not quite surprising. The summer has been and gone, and it does mean I've made a few transfers as well. I say a few. Let's do this. We're going to do this in chronological order, and the first man out the door was Scott Hogan. It's a surprise to some. I mean, if you look at his stats, it's pretty good stats across the board, valued at 6.75 million now. He went for 5.25. I probably took a loss on him. Well, I did take a loss on him in terms of what Villa brought him for. But when you look at last season, his stats just weren't quite good enough. 15 appearances in the league, 6 goals. Overall, just in general, he just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough in general. 18 appearances, 6 goals in all competitions. He just didn't cut the mustard, and for that reason, he had to be out. I didn't think he'd do it in the Premier League. He may prove me wrong this year. He's gone to Burnley, a Premier League side, so he will be popping up against us, you would think, and he may even score against us. That's going to be hard to see. But Scott Hogan is the first man out. Jed Steer has left for Fulham. He was sitting in the reserves doing nothing. So see you later, Jed Steer. Get him off the wage bill. Christopher Samba left on a free. He's gone to Panathinaikos, I think, in Greece. Get rid of him. Happy days. See you later. See you later, Christopher Samba. I don't need you. Another shock as Neil Taylor leaves the team. Newcastle came in for him. His stats are pretty good, but he is 29 years of age. And to be fair, I was happy to take 4.2 million for him. He was a good player for us last year. He did very well, but he was forced out of the team in the end by Brian, which is what I wanted to happen. I think Brian is the first choice, you would say. So Neil Taylor leaves, 4.2 million. We're moving on upwards. Another 4.5 million was brought in as Carlos Gil left the club. He was out on loan last season, and he could have come into the team, to be honest with you. He's got pretty good stats. He would have been a good player for us this year, but Leeds came in 4.5 million, and I had other options, so out he goes. Okay, no problem. Obviously didn't play for us last season and didn't really impress when he was with us a few years ago. Carlos Gil's gone to Leeds as well in the Championship. I would think he'll do well there. The final permanent out then, and surprisingly it's our other fullback, Ahmed Al-Mohammadi. I've struggled to say his names at times, and that's not why I'm selling him. But again, 30 years of age. It's important to me that we have a young, youthful squad, and at 30 years of age, he's just over the hill. So he's got good stats. He's gone out to La Liga, to Malaga actually, on a deal worth £975,000. His value's rose since that, which is a bit annoying. But he had a good season for us, lots of appearances, got himself a goal too, assists. He did pretty well for us. But again, James Bree has done very well to come in, and he's sort of displaced him. So Al-Mohammadi, goodbye. There are a couple of loans to mention. Aaron Tishbola, who's been sitting in the reserves, he hasn't really been playing. I wanted to get rid of him, but couldn't get a permanent deal. He's gone on loan to Cardiff. Callum O'Hare is one that I am interested in. His stats are rising, he's a good player, and I think he could be a good player for us. But at 20 years of age, I wanted him to get first team football. He weren't going to get it with us. He's gone into the Championship as well. He's gone to Norwich. He could do well for them this year, and that could force his way into the squad next year. He's one to watch, Callum O'Hare. Michael Richards is still with us. Yeah, I can't sell him. Nobody wants him. He's gone out on loan to Fleetwood Town of all places. Fleetwood, who are in the Championship. They won promotion. Fair play to them. But Michael Richards has left. Happy days. Just his contract runs out at the end of this loan spell, and he will be gone. I promise you. A man to take note of is Walter Gonzalez. Obviously, I signed him last season. I raved about him. I thought he could be great. If you look at his stats, he can be so great. He would be brilliant for us. But he failed his work permit application once again. Valued at 10 million, and he hasn't played a game for us yet. The loan to Midtjylland did nothing. I'm kind of at a loss what to do. I need him to get more caps for Paraguay. I don't know if he'll play this season. Hopefully. But watch this space. On to the ins then, and I did mention at the end of last episode that I had a couple of men already lined up to be coming in, and this is the first of them. Lewis Morgan, a Scottish international, or he will be an international this season, I'm pretty sure of it, valued at 4.9 million. Very, very good stats. If you look at these as an inside forward, look at these stats: 14 crossing, 16 dribbling, finishing is very good too. I'm very, very happy with Lewis Morgan, and the best part of it all, signed him on a free. St Mirren, who he did so well for last year, if you look average rating of 7.43, he did well for them, signed him on the free, and with those stats at 21 years of age, he could be a really good player for us. If he can really concentrate and do it, I will be so happy. Second man already lined up, and say hello to Ali Crawford. I'm very, very pleased with this purchase. 27 years of age, so he isn't a youngster, but look at those stats. As an advanced playmaker beyond the striker, he could be brilliant. Dribbling's brilliant. First touch, passing, technique, lots of greens across the board, and he will be very, very good for this year, I'm sure of it. The best part about him, signed in for £425,000. Can't complain at that. He had a good season for Hamilton, again in the Scottish leagues. I'm wary of the Scottish leagues at times, but his stats, you can't argue with them. So hopefully he will be great for us. £425,000 we signed him for. He's now valued at 7.25 million. The jumps worked. Sticking with a Scottish theme then, and say hello to Lewis Moult, 26 years of age, which I know is a little bit older than what I've been going for. He is a poacher, 15 finishing, 16 first touch, great composure too. He's an out-and-out finisher, and that's what I've really wanted, especially with Hogan leaving. Walter Gonzalez might not even play for us at this point. He offers a different option to Jonathan Codger, and that's the whole point. The best part about him, another free transfer. Can't argue with that. 13 in 27 in the league for Motherwell last season. And he's been a consistent goal scorer over the last few years, as far down as the Vanarama National. He wasn't really a striker I expected to sign. Hopefully he'll do the business for us this season then. With Gonzalez failing his work permit, I had to look at other attacking options, and Iosi Perez has joined the club from Newcastle, relegated Newcastle of course. I'm a bit wary about this one. I brought him in possibly to play as a striker, and he can't really do any of them, so he will be another midfield option, which isn't really what I was looking for. But his stats are pretty good. He's a good finisher. I think he could be good because he is a very good player, but it's his consistency that's the problem. And hopefully he will be able to get a consistent sort of run of games and run of goals. He's on 47.5 grand a week, which is a bit much, but with the jump up, we've got a big wage budget. Well, bigger than what we had, and he's valued at 16 million. So if we can't really get the best of him this season, he could leave next year for about 10 million or so, and I'll be happy with that. The best part, we signed him for 8 million. So, you know, he was transfer listed. He had a pretty good season for Newcastle and the side that got relegated. If he can get 10 goals for us this season, I'll be very, very happy, and it'll be worth the money for me. Neil Taylor left the club, as you saw, and the reason for that really was I wanted a sort of Premier League defence, and Neil Taylor and El Mohammadi wasn't it for me. Patrick Van Arnold comes in from Crystal Palace, who were relegated, but his stats are very, very good. 27 years of age. There are more experienced players coming into the squad this year. I think that could be important. When times are tough, the young players could crumble, and hopefully that doesn't happen today. Very good physical stats. He's going to be an option on that left full-back sort of position. Brian has to play well to keep him out because his stats are very, very good. On the right-hand side, to replace El Mohammadi, I've picked up Gregory van der Wiel. Of course, the Dutch fullback, 30 years of age, the oldest transfer I'm going to make, I think. Well, at this point anyway. He was a player that they expected a lot of him, and he had a pretty good career. His stats are very good too. His value's gone up to 7.25 million, but we picked him up for 4.5 from Calgary. He's another option, and it's an experienced defender to come in. It's Van der Wiel or Brie. I feel a bit more confident now with that sort of right side. He's better than El Mohammadi for me, and I'm happy with that purchase. Another midfield options joined us for £4.4 million. This is Lewis Baker, the man who won the league with Middlesbrough last year ahead of us, so he's doing something right, and his stats are very, very good. Chelsea wanted to get rid of him on a permanent deal, which is what's important for me. 23 years of age, he could grow to be even better, but his stats are very, very good as it is. He could be one of the top players this year. I'm really hopeful for that, and we've picked him up, as I say, just for £4.4 million. He had a great season with Middlesbrough last year, 17 goals in a title-winning squad. Hopefully his form can continue into the Premier League, and he can push on now that England international could be in his future too. He's had a good career as well, Vitesse on loan, and he's done well for them in Holland. So hopefully Lewis Baker, this could be the start of something special. One of the outs I didn't mention actually was John Terry. John Terry has retired. Yeah, John Terry's retired and become a coach at the club. He's the under-18s assistant manager now, which is fantastic. But it meant we had a gaping hole in the defence of an experienced centre-back. Phil Jagielka fills that hole quite nicely for me, the Everton man. Comes in, great heading still. His physical stats, it's alright. His pace and agility, yeah. But great mental stats, and he ain't going to be a first choice sort of centre-back, but he will come in now and again. Picked him up on a free transfer as well. So for someone of his experience, all those Premier League caps, England caps too, you don't want to pass up that opportunity. And he adds a bit more experience to the squad, as I say, a bit more leadership as well, which is what we've lacked at times. I did look at bringing in more defensive abilities and say hello to Jason Denayer, the on loan from Manchester City, just for the season. He started very, very good. He offers a different option to the likes of Sutar, Hansen and Chester and Jagielka, we just mentioned. I feel a bit more confident with him coming in. It wasn't really a planned sort of deal, but as pre-season was going through, I thought, I just want one more centre-back just to be sure. 5-star potential ability. I don't think we'll be able to pick him up after this, but if he has a good season for us, his value could skyrocket, and as a player, that could be great for him, the Belgian international too. Another man coming on loan is James Wilson. He seems to have been about forever, but he's a very, very good striker. A poacher, 15 finishing, composure is very good too, off the ball too. It's just another option up front. He's very, very quick as well, which could be important for us. He's valued at 8.75 million. We picked him up on loan for the season. He had a good season with Sheffield United, really. 18-17 in the league. Not bad. If he gets around 8 to 10 goals, he isn't going to be a first-choice striker. I'll be happy. He's a loan deal. We've got nothing to lose on it. No problem. No problem. And finally, Andy King. He was transfer listed by Leicester, a Premier League winner, of course. And the reason I brought him in specifically is when I was looking at my tactics for this season, I knew that in the Premier League we were gonna struggle at times. We needed a defensive formation, and that included defensive midfielders. We haven't got many of them in the squad. We've got a lot of ball-playing midfielders, the likes of Hurahan, Doyle Hayes, those sort of players. Andy King offers a different one. He can still play in that middle, but he can play as that defensive midfielder too, or he will learn to play it a bit better. He's got all the good stats. His mental stats are brilliant again. Once again, more experience. International caps, 51 caps for Wales. Very, very good to see. Now, I know what you're thinking when I say we've got no defensive midfielders, but you've got Glenn Whelan. Now, Glenn Whelan's in the reserves trying to sell him. Get rid of him. Ross McCormack's there too. Don't want him. They're not good enough for this level. When you look at the actual money spent then, we've made 15.5 million, spent 27.5 million. So we spent a lot of money in this summer transfer, really, to make it a Premier League squad. Pre-season has gone pretty well. A 4-1 loss to Spartak Moscow wasn't in the plans. That was Gabi Agbonlahor's testimonial. He didn't play, wasn't in the squad. But yeah, 4-1 loss. Phil Jagielka scored a penalty, but Quincy Promes, who, do you know what? He's all right, but he isn't even that good. Scored a hat-trick, so good stuff. We bounced back with a 3-1 win away at Lulatano. We had a Portuguese tour, and yeah, 3-1 win. Jamie Hansen, Albert Adoma, and Andre Green with the goals. Jamie Hansen has been in good form in pre-season. He may start the opening Premier League game of the season. We'll have to see in a little bit, but he's been very, very good for us. The best win came against Calegado, a 9-0 suffering. Yeah, they weren't a good team, and we put them to the sword. Good to see goals. Kodja got 4 in the first half. Brilliant. Grealish got on the score sheet, which is good to see. 2 for Lewis Morgan. That's nice. And Lewis Malt also got on the score sheet from the bench. Happy to see that. And the goals continue to flow. A 5-1 win away at Tranmere. Adoma got 2. Iosi Perez on the score sheet. Lewis Malt. And Berke Bjarnason also got on the score sheet. Wins are plenty. Goals are plenty. We rounded it off with a 2-0 win at home to Sporting Lisbon. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Jonathan Kodja, who's been in the goals in pre-season, as you saw. And hopefully he continues to do that. He is going to be the first choice striker, which wasn't really my plan. I was thinking Walter Gonzalez, and he's ruined everything. But Jonathan Kodja, King Kodja, trust the king, trust the king. As you can see here, the Premier League fixture list has dealt us one hell of a tie to open the game. West Brom away, a derby. This is probably our closest derby we're going to have in this series, because I don't plan to be playing Birmingham much. West Brom could stay in the Premier League a lot, and this could be our derby. So we start with West Bromwich Albion away. Unbelievable. It is 2 weeks away though, so yeah, I better get a move on. So Aston Villa back in the Premier League, a big club. I wonder what the pundits think we're going to do this season. Okay. 19th, they expect us to get relegated 1,000 to 1 to win the league. Wasn't expecting to win the league, but 1,000 to 1. Yeah, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? I don't expect us to finish there. I think if we can get this sort of area, 13th, 14th, I'll be happy. Avoiding relegation is 100% the only aim this year. At this point, that's all I care about. It could change, but that's all I care about at this point. They say art imitates life and life imitates art. Well, Liverpool finalised Van Dijk deal. It's about 6 months too late, and it's a little bit cheaper as well. I mean, it may rise, but it's about 6 months too late, isn't it? Well, that's bad news ahead of the start of the season. Patrick Van Arnold out for 3 months. shin splints. I don't even know what that is really. That's not good. Of course, as we enter into the second season, it means that the rules have changed for the transfer window. As you can see there, it closes on the 16th of August. Yeah. More bad news, as Sam Johnston will miss the opening game of the season. He's out for 2 days. 2 days before the game. Brilliant. Tight hamstring. It means Pierluigi Gallini comes in. He's back in our loan. He's going to be our number 2 this year. Possibly number 1 if he outfights him for a place. He's a good goalkeeper, young age. 2 young fighting goalkeepers is the plan. Sam Johnston misses the first game of the season. 1-0 Gallini. Here we go. First game of the season. And we've been moved for TV reasons. So we're playing on the Friday night. A win will put us top of the league. I mean, whoa. A loss would put us bottom, but let's not talk about that. West Brom versus Villa then. And Tony Pulis is still manager. Interesting. Interesting. They've got Daley Blind. Whoa. He's suspended. He's not going to play against us today. But they've signed Daley Blind. That's a very good signing for them, that is. I wonder who they've got in their squad. We'll have to take a look in a minute who plays against us. Hopefully today we can do something. And this is the 11 that are going to play today. Sam Johnston has actually made it back and will play. He's the first choice for a reason, and he will play today. He's made it back from his whatever he had. Van der Wiel starts on the right wing back ahead of James Bree, just because I think I want to give him his debut, really, basically. John Sutar and Chester are the centre backs. I didn't go with Hansen in the end. Tempting, but I didn't quite. I'm going to stick with Sutar. He's been very, very good in the back end of last season. Joe Bryan at left wing back because he's the only one we've got. Doyle Hayes is the Carrillo. That could be a surprise to some people, especially with the likes of Andy King, Conor Hourihane, Berke Bjarnason, all in the squad. I'm still sticking with Doyle Hayes. I fancy him as a real wonder kid for this save. He's going to play today. Next to Lewis Baker in the Mazzala role. I don't know if he'll stick as a Mazzala role. He may end up as a deep line playmaker. That's an option for me. I'm going to stick with Mazzala for now. He's done well in pre-season. He plays Adoma on the right ahead of Lewis Morgan, just because Adoma's had a good few games in pre-season. Ali Crawford in the attacking playmaker role because that's what he's good at. That's where he will be, which means Jack Grealish is out on the left. Andre Green doesn't make the bench either. He's one to watch this year. He has to have a good year, Andre Green, to be with us next one, I think. Up front then, Jonathan Kodja, Lewis Mult is there if we need him. So is Ayoze Perez, Lewis Morgan, Andy King, Phil Jagielka, James Bree and Pierluigi Gallini. We're sticking on attacking as well. We're going with what worked last year against a West Brom side that I quite fancy us to beat. West Brom set up with a 4-4-1-1 sort of formation. And there's lots of new sort of players to look at. Kieran Clark is at centre-back, a former Villa man. That's weird to see. Tagliafico at left back, never heard of him. Lang at right back, not really a known name. Jakob and Burke are still there. 1P. That's a weird name. 1P. Zuba on the left. Morrison behind Rondon is the strike force that you know, but there's lots of names on the bench you won't recognise. For us, of course, as we said, this 4-2-3-1. Let's do it. Our home form is what's going to keep us up this year for us. Rondon has the ball early, and that's an early foul as well. Oh, Sutar's been booked inside 20 seconds. Jeez. Baker's corner for Villa though. Evans with a header away at the near post. Lewis Baker is there again. He's a very good set piece taker, I think. Ali Crawford. Great pass. Adoma. Oh, it's just over the bar. But that's what Ali Crawford can do. He's got the eye for the pass, and hopefully if he can do that, we can get goals this year. Another yellow card. James Chester's been booked. Our centre-backs have both been booked. I'm not happy with that. Nice early sighter though, and 1P has gone off injured for them, which brings on Nissen. Not Nissan. He's not a car. He's not a car. No vroom vroom. It's Nissen. You hear me? Nissen. What a stupid name. West Brom dominated this sort of opening half. They've had lots of chances. We haven't saw one of them yet. I think we could be about to. Zuba to Rondon. Rondon, he does well, but Bryan with interception, and now maybe we can break. Crawford to Doyle Hayes. Baker. This is good football, but Crawford's pass was a bit behind Grealish, and Rondon can come forward. Morrison, back to Rondon. How has he got away from centre-backs that easily? It's James Morrison for West Brom, and he said Villa. He's hit the post. That's a let-off. We haven't played well here. I'm going to stick it on count now, because we're struggling a little bit, to be honest with you. Another injury for them. Tagliafico's gone off. On comes Kieran Gibbs, the former Arsenal man, of course. I am going to make a change at half-time. I'm going to bring on Morgan for Adoma because Adoma hasn't really done much. Stick him on it inside forward. He's training it. He will be better at it than what he is at the moment. The centre-backs worry me. Do I bring on Phil Jagielka? I think I do. James Chester, the captain, can come off. A bit embarrassing for him, but Phil Jagielka comes on. And hopefully, he'll shore things up a little bit. I'm going to say it's time for everyone to dig in. It's time for everyone to dig in. Matt Phillips has come on. They've made all 3 changes at half time. Well, they've made all 3 changes so far. Here's Jakob, Phillips, Dixon. Good interception by Baker. Can Villa break now? He's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, which is a bit weird. Jagielka, Sutar. We're keeping the ball nicely, but we have to do something with it. Johnson's long kick is yeah, that's pointless. What happened to playing out of the back? Yeah, Morrison's gone all the way through. Phillips on the right crosses it in. Rondon's header. It's been coming. It's just poor from us. It's so poor, so poor. I'm thinking going to the 4-4-2. Yeah, I'm doing it. 4-4-2, attacking as well. Let's get some sort of goals. Grealish's free kick is just poor, but he's onto it again. Has the changes even made? I don't think we've made them yet. We have. Ayoze Perez's flick. He's hit the post. What happened there? Nearly an instant impact from Ayoze Perez there. That's good to see. And we suddenly look like we're attacking a bit more, but we look dangerous on the break. Well, West Brom looked dangerous even. Rondon. Dixon to Morrison to finish us off. He's hit the post. They've hit the post twice. We've hit it once. And now can we break towards Codger, headed away by Evans. And that's the end of the highlight, you would think. That's not good, though. That's not good how easy it is to open us up. Codger's on a 6.3. He's not playing well. Not playing well at all. Here's Baker. Over the top. Can't find Codger. It's poor again from the centre forward. And it's towards Jakob, who's managed to bring it down. It's a weird highlight this so far. Van der Wiel, what's he doing with it? He's done nothing with it. Morgan hasn't been in the game for us. I tell you, Rondon's in again. It's 2-0. It's game over. It's game over. That is not the start to the season I was expecting to have. Talk about deflating. Van der Wiel's sloppy pass. Why are we not playing out of our defence? I know I haven't got a set on it at the moment, but throughout the whole game, we weren't playing out of our defence, and that's a problem for us. Do not tell me, Jonathan. Don't. No. What a first game to the season this has been. I tell you now. A 2-0 loss to West Brom. And Jonathan Codger, of all men, has been sent off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end to this episode number 16 of the Revitalising Villa Football Manager Series. Not the start we were looking for. 2-0 loss away to West Brom. And we bottomed the league. It's going to be a tough season. Let me know what you think of the transfers. Let me know what you think of how our Premier League season could go in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, from me to you, goodbye.